We're proud to present this evening's honor guards, members of the Argylls and Sutherlands Highlanders of Canada, Princess Louises. Warrant Officer Justin Chaston, CD, Operation Archer, Afghanistan and Operation Impact, Middle East. Sergeant Aaron Pidzamecki, CD, Operation Impact, Middle East. Sergeant James Garrison, Operations Unifier. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able to and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem, performed by Canadian Idol star, also known as the singing bus driver, Jonathan Pooley.
Veuillez maintenant vous lever pour l'hymne national du Canada.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Carte en bras et porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée, tes plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. That we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Will it be the Tiger Cats or Alouettes advancing to the 112th Grey Cup? We are about to find out next. Maria Beckel of Winnipeg, Manitoba. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save on Foods' $1 Million Touchdown to Win. If the kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns, you could win $1 million. It's Dustin Nielsen and Dwayne Ford.
Welcome to the Hammer for the first of 2 CFL divisional finals as the top 2 teams in the East clash with a spot in the Grey Cup on the line. The Montreal Alouettes have won 6 of their last 7, including last week against the Bombers. Hamilton back in the East final for the first time since 2021 and for the first time with Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah, this is exactly the storyline. We talk about all Bo Levi Mitchell's experience as a playoff quarterback, but literally his first playoff start as a Hamilton Tiger Cat. It's been since 2021, the last time he started the postseason game. Meanwhile, Davis Alexander making the first postseason start of his Canadian Football League career. Undefeated as a regular season starter. We'll see if that translates.
Third year as a coach of the Alouettes. Third trip to this game for that man, Jason Moss. Scott Milanovich, great turnaround from missing the playoffs last year to hosting the East Final this year. It is a blackout at Hamilton Stadium. A trip to the Grey Cup in Winnipeg next week awaits the winner of this one. Hamilton won the coin toss, took the ball, and we are underway. Thank you very much for joining us. This will be taken at the 20 and brought back just outside the 40 on the return. And there he is, Bo Levi Mitchell, first start in almost half a decade in the postseason.
And Bo Levi Mitchell, a lot of discussion coming into this game, obviously, about the Hamilton Tiger Cats, the first place team playing here at home after earning a bye, 11-7 record during the season. Bo Levi Mitchell, an MOP finalist, but the underdogs in the eyes of many in this game.
He'll move a couple of receivers over to his right. Looks to his left, throws to his left to get us started, and why not? Right into the hands of Kenny Lawler, first down for Hamilton.
We'll take a look at the rest of this Hamilton Tiger Cat offense along that O-line, of course. Brandon Rivenberg perennial all-star in the Canadian Football League, Greg Bell. Ticats running back. We talk a lot about the receivers, but this is a guy who had a career-high 156 rushing yards against these Alouettes in September.
He had 5 catches in that game as well. Dual threat for sure. Now they'll move him out to the bottom of your screen, and they'll flip it into the hands of Wooden. And Wooden, the returner, getting involved in the offense here against this Montreal defense.
And things start up front for this Montreal D. Isaac Adayemi Berglund, the most outstanding Canadian in the East Division this season. Linebacking core anchored in the middle by Darnell Sankey, 3rd year with the Owls. And on the back end, it's been that field halfback spot that's always been a little bit of a revolving door for them this year. Robert Kennedy makes the start this week at that spot. Regular starter Seontae Evans still on the injured list.
2nd and 5 here for Bo. Gets it away. Bouncing around and incomplete. He was looking for Lawler. Defended by Robert Kennedy, who you were just talking about. And that'll bring up 3rd down for the Ticats.
So a quick start for the Ticats. A couple looks Kenny Lawler's way. A completion on their opening offensive play of the game. But unable to hold on that one with Kennedy providing the breakup.
Constantino out to kick it away. 48.3 on average this year. Lets it go from his 50, hangs it way up there. That's a high, shorter kick taken with flags flying just outside the 20.
Now, I think they should pick up this flag. Tyler Ternowski, who's one of their best punt cover guys, he's lining up onside on the punt. He's behind the punter when the ball is kicked here. In his alignment, you're going to see him come from the bottom right of the screen. You're going to see him appear, but he's staying behind the punter, Constantino, until the ball is punted, which means he doesn't have to give 5 yards, and you see him get in there and try and stir things up a little bit. So a little adjustment being made by the Ticats in this ballgame.
Yards, 88 is onside. 1st down.
Nailed it. No flag, they'll pick it up. Davis Alexander, perfect so far in his career. 12-0 to start it.
Yeah, win last week, of course, against Winnipeg. First trip to the division finals here for Alexander.
On the run to his right, guns it ahead, and that is a 1st down for this Montreal offense.
Yeah, an offense that had a late change to their lineup. Des Holmes, the American, comes in at left guard. Pierre-Olivier Lestage was a late scratch. We'll see if that has any impact on the offensive line. Stevie Scott, terrific outing last week. Career-high Alouette season-high 133 rushing yards for him in the win over Winnipeg in the East semifinal.
Austin Mack, 12 yards, and that first catch from Davis Alexander. Looking to throw it again, gets it away, and it's right back into the hands of Austin Mack against this Hamilton defense.
Yeah, defensively, the Tiger Cats are led by Julian Hauser, the top defensive player in the East Division this season. The linebacking core welcomed Reggie Stubblefield as an offseason signing, coming over from these Montreal Alouettes, where he was a Grey Cup champ in 2023. And in the secondary, late change, Quavian White comes in as Jonathan Moxey had to deal with a family emergency, pulled it away from the lineup. So White, who played 2 regular season games, is in.
2nd and 1. They bring in Patterson to push it ahead, and Davis Alexander has meant the world so far to the Alouettes this season. 8-0 with them, 3-8 without them.
Yeah, and continuing, you know, an unbeaten record that he put together last season, filling in for an injured Cody Fajardo. So the Alouettes yet to lose a game in which Davis Alexander has started. The Hamilton Tiger Cats, led by their defense, of course, looking to change that.
He's got a 1st down here from the 47. This time they'll hand it off to Stevie Scott, and Scott will push it ahead maybe 2, possibly 3 yards on that first down carry. This Ticats team has not really seen Stevie Scott just yet. He had 1 carry against them in the regular season. He had a monster game last week for the Alouettes. 133 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
And Stevie Scott, bigger back than some of the guys we've seen in Montreal in recent years, whether it's been Sean Thomas Erlington. We'll see a little bit of Travis Tice today as well. Walter Fletcher last season. True power runner, more in the mold of William Standback.
Yeah, 6'1", almost 220 pounds. Near sideline to Philpott, and he goes down and gets it. First catch of the game for Tyson Philpott.
And just a quick hitter here. Philpott was the guy they looked to early. A hitch-type play last week. You see, he was maybe juggling that one a little bit up near the shoulder pads. But not quite enough.
That'll be 3rd and 3 yards. We got our first look today at Zima, just under 48 yards per punt.
Notice Ticats have 2 returners deep to make sure they cover the whole field. They don't want to let that ball get on the ground and bounce out.
Zima hangs one up there. He's going to be taken just inside the 5. A little bit of room on the near sideline, and then pushed out of bounds is Wooden. Bo Levi Mitchell looking to push these Ticats back to the Grey Cup. He'll have the ball when we return to the Hammer. A massive bounce back year for the Ticats, led by Bo Levi Mitchell, a bounce back year himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that comeback for Bo kind of started a season ago. This year brought the rest of the team along with him. Very deep receiving core. Obviously, Greg Bell, a big part of things down the stretch, but it all starts with number 19 airing out that ball.
Yeah, ended up leading the league in passing yards, 6 ahead of Nathan Rourke, but 5,296 yards for that man, number 19. And the black and gold today started on their own 23. They'll hand it off to Bell. Found a little bit of space and pushes it out just shy of the Hamilton 30.
Too big. Oh, Bo Levi Mitchell. Finalist once again for most outstanding player.
They need 6 more yards here to keep this drive alive. Smith and Lawler in the slot, out to his left. That's where they're going to go, to White. White makes one man miss, cuts it back, and now takes it ahead and out beyond the 40-yard line. First catch of the game for Tim White.
Yeah, and a nice escape here by Tim White. He's going to line up out wide, ducking back inside to catch that hitch. Kenny Lawler gets the block on one. Tim White's got to make it a man miss on his own. Unblocked defender on the outside, Cabianento. Great move from Tim White to pick up the first.
Another 1,000-yard season for White. Now they'll get it back into the hands of Bell. A slip, and he goes down, and a flag on the play as well.
You'll see Bell gets forced laterally here.
Number 59. 10-yard penalty. Made first down.
You can see that right foot hit the turf, didn't get any traction. Down he goes. Meanwhile, the holding call is going to back them up.
Hey, carry over to court left. Carry over to court left.
Brought back for a 1st and 20.
Hey, S. Baker, Manny. S. Baker.
Back on their 33. Bo barking out instructions. Lawler at the bottom of your screen. Smith will swing in behind his quarterback. Now Bell out into the flat. That's where they're going to go. Can he find a little bit of space? Made one man miss. Takes it all the way back out. Almost found the 45. I think they're going to mark him down just beyond the 43. Got the penalty yardage back.
And kind of an interesting variation in the screen game for Hamilton, getting the back out of the backfield rather than having him step up into the line in protection and then turning to look for it. He moves out almost into a semi-hitch kind of position there in motion.
Couple of touches already in the game for Bell. 2nd and 10. Mitchell looks to his left, finds Lawler. Lawler's going to be tracked down from behind. Canton Arcou with the tackle for the Alouettes.
And so tough as you see the Tiger Cats with a couple of completions in a row, but picking up that penalty on 1st down. Needing to pick up that plus yardage. Such an uphill battle, ultimately kills the drive.
2nd catch of the game for Kenny Lawler. Constantinu back out. Hangs one up there from just outside his own 35. Letcher takes it cleanly. Trying to find some space. There is a flag as he cuts it back inside and takes it out beyond the 35-yard line. We are scoreless in Hamilton. Davis Alexander will look to change that when we return. An Alouettes offense that averages 30 points a game with him at the helm. Well, if we had any doubts that the playoffs would be too big a moment for Davis Alexander, Dwayne, I think those were taken care of last week, weren't they? He was outstanding.
Yeah, he sure was. Right out of the gate as well, Davis Alexander was aggressive, kind of true to form, quite frankly. You know, a guy who plays the game, obviously, with a high level of emotion, and it served him well. There you see the 5th highest single game postseason passing total in Montreal Alouettes history.
The penalty on Hamlin on the return has the Alouettes backed up to their own 10. Alexander gets it away. We've seen them run this a couple of times. This time it's back to Philpott, his 2nd catch of the ball game. A little bit of a different animal for him this week, being on the road as opposed to at home in front of a great crowd in Montreal.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how things play out as, you know, you look at the Alouettes and Tiger Cats. There's such a debate down the stretch of the season in terms of, you know, who would finish first, who would benefit most from having to buy the home game, etc. Both these teams are actually slightly better on the road in terms of record.
Alexander escapes the pocket. He's going to take off on the run. He's got some room, too, all the way out to the 30, 35. Before he's forced out of bounds, and he's given it to the crowd here in the Hammer as well.
Davis Alexander showing he can get it done when things break down. That speed around the corner. Nice pickup to buy them a little bit of room getting out of their own territory and able to do it without taking any unnecessary hits.
He won't make any friends here today at Hamilton Stadium, that's for sure. Alexander gets this one away behind the intended target, bouncing around, and incomplete. He was looking for his fullback, Jacob Mason, a little bit behind him, and he couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, Mason trying to adjust and reach back with his right arm as he's working left to right across the field. And it did look like he did, in fact, appear to keep it off the turf. And almost a Ticat interception.
That would have been disastrous for Mason. 2nd and 10. Alexander on the run to his right. He's going to keep it again. This time he runs into some traffic and is taken down. Looks like he'll be a couple of yards short of moving the sticks.
So often, you know, we'll see quarterbacks slide and obviously coached to do so, protect themselves over the course of a long season, but come playoff time, it's all about that sacrifice. Davis Alexander dropping his shoulder trying to pick up that first down.
Third and about 1.5 yards.
Shoe. You want to tie your shoe?
Patterson into the game for Jason Moss and his Alouettes. Huge spot here for the Ticats defense. They'll give it to Patterson, pushing it ahead, and it looked like that initial push was enough. Should be a first down, Montreal.
Yeah, just finding a little bit of a soft spot to his left. You see, he gets pretty good forward movement there, just needing a yard. Patterson, of course, taking over short yardage duties for the Alouettes with the injury to Caleb Evans. Got hurt in his first start of the season in BC.
92.
Alexander back on the field. Scott lines up right behind him. Alexander gets it away, defended well, and batted down by Talbot.
The ball had to get out of there quickly as Julian Hauser went off a career-high 13 sacks this season. It's the unblocked man. It's a little bit of almost an option type situation. But Hauser did a nice job of getting in the passing lane while closing on the quarterback.
Hauser all CFL for the first time in his career. Ticats at 4. Alexander gets it away. And that is into the hands of Sneed, who came back to the ball. Only had one catch last week, did Tyler Sneed, after over 1,100 yards on the season. And got an offensive lineman down back by the original line of scrimmage. They're going to help him up, it looks like. That's their left tackle. 3rd and 2. We saw them go for it on 3rd and about 1.5 yards earlier on this drive. This is a full 2 here, Dwayne. What do you think? Midfield?
Yeah.
Big moment?
Yeah, looking at the situation, we saw them, remember, a couple possessions ago from midfield. Similar kind of thing, needed about 2, maybe 2 and change, but electing to punt to try to play for that field position in the early part of this ball game. Yeah, so not surprised to see them going in the same direction here, sticking with that philosophy.
Yeah, Zima trots onto the field, ready to kick it away. Wooden and Tim White go back to await this kick. And Joseph Zima. Gets it away from just outside his own 40. Taken by Wooden just inside the 10. He's going to look for the far side of the field. Finds the 15, the 20, and then he steps out of bounds on a pretty nice Saturday afternoon with a blackout in Hamilton for the Ticats and Alouettes. Well, an incredible couple of years for Bo Levi Mitchell. Almost 11,000 yards over the last 2 seasons. For more, let's send it down to Matthew Shinetti.
I know it's an incredible couple of years for him, Dusty, but go back to 2023. Bo Levi Mitchell signs that big contract, injures his leg in Ottawa, comes back, can't get on the same page as Scott Milanovic, benched in the East semifinal in Montreal, and after the game tells me he's not sure if he's coming back. And then the trust between Bo Levi Mitchell and Scott Milanovic developed. They watched film together. Bo understood about anticipating defenses, anticipating his footwork, reading the game in a different way. That's why he's coming into today feeling like Henry Burris and Ricky Ray at this point in his career. Yes, winning championships is important, but adapting and learning more about yourself at this point in his career has been so key for Bo, working with Scott Milanovic. That's why it's a big day for him today.
Dwayne, are you at all surprised by this resurgence from Bo at this stage of his career?
Well, I'm not, given the coach that he's working with. When you look at the career of Scott Milanovic and you consider, you know, his arrival in Montreal in 2008 with Mark Trestman working with Anthony Calvillo at a time when we wondered where Anthony was at in his career. Again, Ricky Ray in Toronto in 2012. So kind of taking veteran quarterbacks and maybe teaching some old dogs new tricks is has been Scott Milanovich's MO.
Alouettes send 5. Bo gets it away, finds Lawler. Tackle made by Ento, but it's a first down for Hamilton. Helps when you got a guy like Kenny Lawler to throw the ball to as well. That's his 3rd catch of the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can obviously see the faith in which Bo Levi Mitchell puts in Kenny Lawler. And that has been evident throughout this season. Lawler, a guy obviously brought here for a reason, right? One of the most prolific receivers in the Canadian Football League.
Hey, hurry, son!
Over 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns this season. And Bo slings that one out there. And it's Lawler coming back, working against Ento again, and he's able to get underneath that one for a first down.
Yeah. You know how good Kenny Lawler is in the jump ball situations, going after the deep ball. They're going to try and sell that a little bit here, and then he's going to hook it up. So try and push the defender off. Pretty good break on the ball by Ento. But nice route from Kenny Lawler and Bo Levi Mitchell.
Hurry, son!
Doing a good job with the placement of the throw.
Back on the ground to Bell. He's got a ton of space, and he's got a first down and more. Inside the Montreal 45. And a nice spark for the Ticats at the end of the first quarter. Montreal 0, Hamilton 0. But the Ticats starting to buzz a little bit offensively as they look to find their way back to the Grey Cup.
Two, three, four. Bo Levi slings it like a cannonball in the sky. Oh my! Kenny Lawler catches dreams and leaves defenders asking why. Oh why? Oh why? Julian Hauser crushes QBs in the blink of an eye. Oh my! And Stavro snags a pick like a thief on the fly. It's mine. Oh Tiger! Hear the roar.
Well, we are taking it to another level here in Hamilton this afternoon, aren't we? Was that your idea? I heard this was your idea.
You know, I do like the musical theater.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than Kate, in fact.
She really knows her stuff, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to stereotype that, you know, football and the arts don't go together, right?
Yeah, they obviously do. You saw the big crowd in the video there. They were all loving the theater. Pretty good time. Big blackout here today. A little bit of blue and red sprinkled in. How long does that take? Hey, a lot of face painting here.
They are big on the face paint here in the Hammer.
Hey, Vegas, win!
It's good to be known for something. Face paint maniacs all across the stadium, waiting to erupt here.
Hey, hurry, son!
After we had a scoreless first quarter, it's the second in the league all season. Bo looking to change it down the field, but it's taken away. Oh my, what a swing. He was looking for Kenny Lawler, but Wesley Sutton said, I've got another idea. Takes it away. Alouettes defense with the first big play of the game.
And you're going to see Kenny Lawler. He's right at the bottom of your screen, basically working down the sideline. Flipping our angle here, the middle receiver on the numbers, and he's going to work down that sideline. Bo Levi Mitchell takes a little bit of a shot as he throws this one, can't step all the way into it, and you see the result. He wants to put that up high and let Kenny Lawler fight for the ball in the air, but because of the situation in the pocket with things collapsing around him a little bit, that one comes up short. Wes Sutton makes him pay.
He had 3 interceptions during the regular season and a big one here in the East Final. Davis Alexander backed up in his own end zone. On the run. Finds a little bit of space. A little bit of breathing room. And he's pushed into official on the sideline. Davis is all right. Trots back out there.
Wasn't Davis I was worried about. Yeah, this is the one dangerous thing you get into this field position. Obviously, your playbook's a little bit limited once he starts scrambling. He can only go one way. Navigating around those goalposts.
34 rushing yards for Alexander so far in this game. 33, sorry, on 3 carries. Davis in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Who else to get a sack party started here in the hammer but Julian Hauser?
Once again, Hauser. Career high 13 during the regular season. En route to being voted the most outstanding defensive player in the East. It looks like the O-line, the right tackle there, Tiger Shanks, seemed a little slow getting out of his stance. As Hauser kind of blew by it. Wonder if there was an issue with the snap count, perhaps. Communication.
Zima, middle of his own end zone. Lets this one fly. Wooden slides over, takes it right in midfield. And he's gobbled up and taken down, but good field position nonetheless for the Ticats. When we return, Davis Alexander, Julian Hauser, gonna get you good, isn't he? Takes him down, first of the game.
Just like I should, I'll get you good.
From the world of Stephen King, go back to where it all began with the much anticipated new HBO original horror series, It Welcome to Derry. Stream now only on Crave.
Well, Julian Hauser taking a well-deserved break over on that Hamilton Tiger Cat sideline. Big sack there that essentially turned the Bo Levi Mitchell interception into a punt. They win the exchange of field position.
Start again on the 46, gets it into the hands of the creative playmaker Tim White. Got just beyond the original line of scrimmage. Will give him a couple of yards.
Yeah, pretty good job there by the Montreal defense, shutting things down.
Garrett, weak left, arm train zip. Garrett, weak left, arm train zip.
Sankey, interception to wrap it up last week. 4th of his playoff career.
And just noticing a switch on this Hamilton offensive line. Liam Dobson has started all year at guard, Coulter Woodmansey at center. They've swapped positions here to start this game.
Well, Levi looking for Ternowski and comes up empty. Interesting switch at this point of the season.
Yeah, well, over the course of the season, Woodmansey had been charged with 5 fumbles, which is essentially, you know, situations where the ball's not getting to the quarterback on exchanges or where you're going to see a center being charged with those. Those 5 fumbles lead the team. 3 of them kind of down the stretch of this regular season. For Woodmansey, this had been his first year starting at center with David Beard moving back to Edmonton in free agency.
Constantino hangs one way up there, and that one will be taken just inside the 30. The flag on the play. Stevie Scott, monster last week against Winnipeg. They really didn't have an answer for Scott at all. 18 carries, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns, was targeted 3 times, caught them all for 24 yards there.
This was one of the plays of the game for Stevie Scott and for the Alouettes. The team touchdown.
We chatted with Jason Moss yesterday. He said that might be his favorite football play ever.
Yes.
He absolutely loved how they rallied together. So they're going to pick up the flag again. We're going to have to get eyes here on Ternowski now.
Yeah,
on these.
Exactly. Obviously part of the game plan for Hamilton. And now the Tiger Cats are punting into the wind now. It started to pick up a little bit. That'll be interesting on a couple of notes. Obviously, strategically, what Hamilton's going to try and do, but also the fact that Hamilton won the coin toss. And in what, to me, is an interesting twist in this stadium, where wind is so often a factor, they chose to take the ball out of the gate. So, you know, Montreal maybe having control of that wind situation down the stretch.
Tice in the game at running back, gets a couple of reps here.
Yeah, Travis Tice. It was something of an early season and preseason sensation for the Alouettes. Over 350 yards rushing for him through the regular season as part of a running back by committee situation, whether it was with Sean Thomas Erlington or with Stevie Scott. You know, we also saw him having some success in the return game for the Alouettes. He had been on the injured list the last few weeks. They get him healthy. He's in. Sean Thomas Erlington out of the lineup today.
His only touchdown of the year was a return touchdown. Now here's Alexander, gets it away, and that'll be enough for a first down as he goes right over the middle into the hands of Philpott. His third catch of the game that leads the team.
Then you'll see Philpott towards the top of your screen. He's just going to sit down in the middle. So the linebackers are dropped off. They knows what they need to get for the first down. Understanding coverage. He finds that soft spot. And gives his quarterback a target.
Alexander, deep drop, pump fake. Now he's going to look over the middle, down the field, a flag on the play. A couple of them as Philpott is taken down.
And he got grabbed early in the route, just as he started to make his break. So a couple of flags down in the same vicinity. You'll see Philpott right at the top of your screen.
Pass interference, Hamilton, number 23.
Is working against White, who's getting that late notice start. That was the first flag, I believe, thrown there, and then more contact further down the field.
Yeah, again, Quavian White, the rookie corner, pressed into duty here. Played a couple games during the regular season, but actually dressed as a field halfback. But with Jonathan Moxie out today, he's at what was his college position, which is corner.
Big shoes to fill. They'll hand it off to Tice, who actually found a few extra yards after contact, takes it down inside the red zone for the first time today.
Well, and I think one of the benefits for White playing on that field side, the fact that that is sort of at least the side of the field that he's been on throughout the season, understanding the spacing over there on the big Canadian field. But in addition to that, when you look at, you know, Stavros Katsantonis at safety, Deshaun Amos, a veteran at halfback, Reggie Stubblefield, veteran, great communicators around him that should help him in that spot.
2nd and 5 for Montreal. Alexander, jump pass, finds Tice. He's got nowhere to go. Driven back by Braxton Hill. Stubblefield involved as well. And it'll be a field goal attempt for the Alouettes.
Yeah, Stubblefield the first to make contact on that one as Tice checks down out of the backfield, starting to the right of Davis Alexander. He's just going to leak out. Stubblefield closing quickly, gets a hold of the leg. Braxton Hill chipping in from his middle linebacker spot.
Maltos Diaz just shy of 90% in the regular season. Hit a couple last week. That one is up, and it is through, and we've got points on the board in the East Final. Montreal goes up 3-0. Wanted more. Ticats defense wouldn't have it. NFL delivers an exciting international game in Berlin between the Falcons and the Colts. Catch all the action tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific on TSN+. Colts been rolling there.
You'll be up early to watch that one.
Of course I will. Yeah, I always set my alarm first thing on Sunday mornings. Gotta love watching the Atlanta Falcons bright and early on a Sunday.
Yes.
Get you going. Ticats.
Hurry, cut!
First and 10 on their own 40 after the field goal. They'll start it on the ground. A little bit of room. Bell upended by Dequoy. But a nice pickup on first down from Greg Bell.
Yeah, we mentioned Greg Bell, 156 yards, season high, career high. Versus Montreal in September. And you see his season, almost 1,500 yards from scrimmage for the second-year running back. And it seemed like that Montreal game just after Labor Day signaled maybe a little bit of a shift in emphasis more towards the run game for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Pressure coming. Mitchell gets it away, finds Lawler, and he's got enough for a first down. Sutton came in to make the tackle, but Bo saw that pressure coming and got it away to his favorite target.
Yes, the safety net. Kenny Lawler. He was shaking off the effects of that hit afterwards.
First and 10 from the 52. Bo hands it off again. And he gives it to Bell. And here is the quarterback talking about how important Greg Bell has become to this team.
The first couple games, it took him a little bit to get going. But you kind of saw our offense really take off once he did. And it had a lot to do with changing the way he blocked, right? The physicality of it. Running was more physicality because he's a speed guy. He can get around. He can move around guys. Once he took off, I feel like we really became an offense that was much, much harder to stop.
Well, he's averaging 7 yards per carry so far in this one. We'll see how much more they keep him involved. Now Bo dumps it off, finds Bell again. Bell looking for a first down marker. Sankey's there to stop him. A couple yards short.
Alouettes doing a nice job here to force the ball out of Mitchell's hands quickly. Canton Arcou coming around on the loop to supply the pressure. Then obviously getting to Greg Bell in rapid fashion as well to prevent him from picking anything up after the catch.
Milanovic won't mess around. 3rd and 2 on the Montreal 50. He's going to kick it away. Constantinu. Deep one. Letcher lets it bounce. It bounces directly left and out at the 2. How about the English on that one from Constantinu? Philpott, 3 catches for 21 yards so far today. Had 10 for 135 last week. They'll have the ball when we return. Well, I think it's safe to say that Tyson Philpott was the most dangerous of all of Davis Alexander's weapons last week.
Yeah, and we say all the time about this Montreal offense, you never know who's going to be the guy in terms of that receiving group, who's going to have the big day. Any of them can do it. Never a surprise, though, when it is Tyson Philpott, clutch performer. You saw the touchdown catch, touchdown run. His brilliance continues.
After a sensational kick, Montreal starts on their own 2. They'll give it to Stevie Scott. Pushes it ahead. Gives them a little bit of breathing room. Ramirez, among others, in on the stop for the Ticats D.
Yeah, tremendous punt by Nick Constantino. Got that bounce.
It bounced 90 degrees to the left.
The Tiger Cats just looking to try and take advantage. They've kind of held an edge in field position on the last couple exchanges. They've got to try and take advantage of that with some points.
Montreal's average starting field position in this game is their own 14. So they have been hemmed in deep quite often. Great run here from Scott, though, and that'll give him a first down.
And, we talk about this all the time, that the importance of field position in the world of Canadian football, that so often you get the ball down there. Yeah, in a perfect world, you're going to go 105 yards for a score. But barring that, you want to at least get a couple of first downs and try to swing that field position back a little bit.
Alexander broke one tackle, finds some space, and just lunges ahead. Did the ball come out? They're taking a look at it. Ticats saying that they've got it. Might have to get another look at this one.
Be watching at the tail end as Alexander pulls this one, becomes a ball carrier. I think his left knee is down regardless.
It's definitely down, yeah. Got 3 yards on the scramble, 2nd and 7. Clock ticks down to 3 minutes here in the 2nd quarter. And that one bounces at the feet of Austin Mack. And we have hit 3 minutes remaining in the half at the East Final in Hamilton. Ticats trailing 3-0.
Well, look, if you love defense like the two guys beside me, this halftime's for you, not the other two, though. Not the other two. More defense?
What? More defense, go. No,
we'll also tee up the Western Final. It's balmy in Regina. Has anyone checked on Dave Naylor, by the way?
He's frozen.
He's freezing. He's freezing. Nails is freezing. Freezing.
Dave Naylor is breathing. That's great news.
Is he breathing or freezing?
Both. I think it's both. Zima with Wooden waiting on his own 40 for the Ticats. Takes it cleanly just inside. He finds a little bit of space. He might have something cooking. Wooden down to the 50, to the 40, trying to get around the punter. But oh no. Great field position for their kick returner.
Yeah, Wooden had 3 kicks during the regular season, despite missing a stretch due to injury. Does a nice job with the give to get here. He's going to give up about 5 yards in initial field position in order to get an angle where he can get around that edge. Out to the right, big return.
Instant field position.
Absolutely should have his Ticats within field goal range here.
They'll hand it off to Bell. Finds a hole. Stutter stepping upended, but he's got a first down. And Greg Bell continues to run wild. And now some flags at the end of the play. And another flag. Ticats are coming unglued here.
This Jordan Murray took back-to-back penalties here that are going to negate this run and then some.
Hey.
You know, you very quickly see a couple of veterans, Bo Levi Mitchell, Kenny Lawler, trying to settle him down. You know, credit him from my perspective here, watching the play unfold. It looks like he's trying to finish his block, but carried on too long after the whistle. The ball was behind him. He couldn't see the ball and stayed on his man, drove his man down. Well, keep an eye here on Murray. He's locked up with his defender. The 28-yard line, he's got Darnell Sankey. Sankey is stopped on the play. And Murray takes him down, so that's one flag. But then the reaction when he gets flagged draws another.
Can't do that.
Well, I mean, like, you're talking about a tight game, right? A 3-0 game at almost halftime, and you're within field goal range, and you're going to take flags that are going to back you up against the wind. And this is just bad decision making from Jordan Murray on this play. I get the feeling, I think everybody who's ever played the game has been there at some point where you feel that frustration, but you've got to manage that.
The officials taking some time to sort this out. There's 2 penalties
that will have to be dealt with here.
He's out, right? Let's let it go. Next play.
Some self-reflection on the sideline now for Jordan Murray. And this is getting backed up big time.
Yeah, this
Major
was
foul, unnecessary roughness, Hamilton number 69. That's 15-yard penalty. After the play, 10-yard misconduct foul against Hamilton number 69. These fouls occurred after yards were gained. It's first down.
So there you have it. Yards gained and then backed up 25 yards. And again, I'll note, against the wind. So you probably just took your team that was clearly in field goal range, out of field goal range, and they got a scratch and claw to get back there. The fortunate thing, dead ball, first down was picked up. It's still 1st and 10.
Lawler will slide around in behind Bo, and now over to the far side of the field. Mitchell, pump fake, gets it away. Found the big fella, Robinson, over the middle. That'll go for close to 6.
All right, you see 69 Murray at left tackle. Credit him for the response. You saw a couple teammates talk to him, kind of get him settled down. Looked like he gathered himself a little bit on the sideline there for a minute, doing a pretty good job against a terrific pass rusher in Isaac Adeyemi Berglund on the last play.
2nd and 4 for the Ticats. There's a flag here. They'll get it away to Smith. Has the first down, but there is a flag on the play. I think this is coming back against Hamilton as well, who's a pretty disciplined team throughout the regular season.
And this could be the tackle. Murray maybe twitching a little bit early.
Can you look at the helmet? I really hope that's fucking one.
Offside, Hamilton. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
So it wasn't the tackle. He had a quick step. It looked like the receiver, Tyler Ternowski. I think that's actually Keandre Smith working from that spot that was just a little early with his waggle.
81 penalty yards in the Ticats already in this game. 2nd and 9. Mitchell downfield, drops it in at the 25, and Lawler hung on to it.
And pretty tight coverage. You'll have a great view right down the middle of the field here. Lawler has to kind of settle and wait on that one a little bit. But it's out in front of him. Pursuit coming from Kennedy on the backside. Lawler's able to haul it in.
We got a fast drag.
6th catch of the game for Kenny Lawler. He's got 70 of both 110 passing yards. Mitchell looks to his left. He's under pressure, and he's going to be taken down for a loss and a sack. Dylan Wynn gets there. Had one during the regular season, and he's got one here in the East Final.
Yeah, the former Hamilton Tiger Cat from his defensive tackle spot, and they'll be leaning on him a lot. Bear in mind, Mustafa Johnson injured. Sean Oakman released late last week. So it's Dylan Wynn and the rookie Corey Roberson Jr. holding down the fort on the interior of that defensive line now.
2nd and long for Mitchell. He's got Kenny Lawler at the top of your screen. 3 options out to his left as well. That's where he goes. Finds Smith. He's got to make something of this. Cannot. Gets stopped just outside the 20. And it will be a field goal attempt to tie this game for the Ticats.
And from a Hamilton point of view, obviously you need to accept what's happened and sort of move on, learn from the mistakes and move on. But you can't help but wonder what might have been on this drive if not for a series of penalties.
Just shy of 93% on the year for Leggio. Outstanding campaign for him. This is a 29-yard attempt from just inside the left hash. Constantino to hold. Leggio looked to tie this game up late in the half. That is up, and he's got it. Tied at 3.
You look like I'm done looking, but girl, the hard truth is if this night don't turn into 2, you look like I'm gonna wind up missing you.
Bo Levi Mitchell back into the tablet, trying to figure out a way to solve this Montreal D. Hamilton's offense this year averaging over 29 points per game. We mentioned Davis Alexander in games he started. Montreal's basically a 30-point team.
Yeah.
And we got 6 combined points so far in this one.
Yeah, credit the defensive coordinators for keeping things in check.
Alexander out to his running back, Stevie Scott, pushing it ahead. And he's close to a first down. Marked just short.
It's been a lot of settling for the underneath stuff and the checkdowns so far in the first half of this ball game. As I'm sure both defenses in terms of their approach and limiting the risk, not wanting to give up the big play either way.
Ticats just sent 4. Davis still feeling a little bit of heat. Now Alexander's on the run to his right, lays it out there, big hit. Oh, he got popped down at the 40, but it doesn't matter. Sneed hangs on, and they're in field goal range.
I absolutely love this football play. Davis Alexander doing his thing. He gets on the move. His go-to guy, Tyler Sneed, the smallest guy on most football fields he steps on. Love the hit from Katsantonis. Love the bounce up and holding on to the ball from Tyler Sneed.
Alexander takes off with a slide. Katsantonis was flying in there again as well. First down, Montreal.
And here it is again. You can see Katsantonis closing as the ball is coming. As fired up as he is with the hit, Sneed just as fired up with the catch.
Fire.
So Montreal moving quickly here at the end of the half. And Dwayne, in a game that is so tight, to put possibly 3 more points on the board here late in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, huge.
Could end up being the difference in this game.
Huge, and and always that kind of double dip, right? End of the second quarter here for Montreal. They're going to get the ball to start the third quarter as well. So you get those back-to-back, potential of back-to-back offensive possessions.
Good drive! Good drive! Good drive! Good drive! Way to play, boy!
Altos Diaz for another Montreal lead. And he is money again. Altos Diaz 6, Leggio 3.
Yeah, everybody talked up the quarterbacks. We tried to convince you, the running backs, the receivers, and it all comes down to the kickers here.
Disrespect on our part to the kickers. Both guys, look, 2 outstanding seasons for these guys as well. Altos Diaz had 58 field goals during the year, which is just 2 shy of Medlock's CFL record of 60. And Leggio, well over 90%. And 3 big points right at the end of the half here. Davis Alexander putting together a drive, finding Sneed, took some punishment, but some punishment that leads to a lead.
Yeah, we talked earlier about that correlation between the willingness to make sacrifices and playoff success. Tyler Sneed taking the big hit. to make an even bigger play for his team.
Hamilton Tiger Cats will head to the room at home in an East Final, trailing by a field goal. Davis Alexander, 9 of 13 for 80 yards. Bo Levi Mitchell, 12 of 15, 119 yards. And an interception in this game, trying to find Kenny Lawler, but Sutton had other ideas.
Yeah, and you think about Hamilton threatening a couple of times in this ball game. This was one of them, right? Kenny Lawler has been obviously a favorite target, as expected, of Bo Levi Mitchell in this ball game. But they get some pressure on him. That affects the throw. You sort of saw the flight of that football, wobbling a little bit. It comes up short as Bo took a hit as he threw it. Wesley Sutton, all too happy to step in front and make that pick.
Sutton had 3 interceptions during the regular season, and a big one here in a playoff game. Standing by with Matthew Jeanette.
Wesley, 1 interception. It helped you guys get this lead, but how fine are the margins in a game like this? How are you diagnosing the Ticats offense right now?
You know, we're just playing Alouette football. We're trying to get off the field, trying to limit the explosives, play fast, physical. It's playoff football. That's what you live for. So.
And in terms of that, how much as a defender do you like games like this, knowing that the tension and everything goes on every single play that you guys make on defense?
Yeah, we love it. You know, it's a game of momentum, especially here, hostile environment. Just got to make plays, and that's what we're trying to do, limit the explosives, get off the field, get the ball back to our explosive offense.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, they're kicking off here, but the energy is tense. Montreal up 3.
Currently 6-3 for the Montreal Alouettes. Back alongside Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Milt Siegel, Paul Lapalisse standing by as well. And we will talk about that Montreal defense in just a moment. But first of all, when it comes to the postseason, everything is magnified. Like if you make a great play, you know, you look at it a little bit more. Maybe you're put on a bit more of a pedestal. But when you make a mistake, the same things happen. And for Jordan Murray in that first half, that was a critical game-changing play. What could be a game-changing play. First of all, you run Darnell Sankey a little too hard into the ground, but then to follow it up with the helmet toss, that just can't happen, Milt.
Kate, that wasn't a mistake. That was a dumb play. There's no way the position you're in, you should be making that type of play. And you know what? I'm going to give him some little leeway on the first penalty. You know, he was just trying to finish his block. Maybe he didn't hear the whistle. Maybe he didn't understand what was going on. So I'm going to give him a little leeway on that one. But then you compound this right here when you get frustrated because they threw a flag on you and you throw your helmet down. And they got 3 points out of this, but they were possibly in a position where they could have got a touchdown. And we know how crucial every single point in this game is. It's 6-3 right now. Now, if you come back, I mean, if they're not able to come back and lose this game, that could have been a crucial play.
That's the reason why when people say you treat every game the same, you came in the same mindset, the same. I don't believe that. I don't buy it.
No.
There's things you could do and mentality you have in a regular season game you simply don't have here, and that's the case of that. Sometimes you might want to be physical, and sometimes your emotion get the best of you. Me personally, there's plenty of times where I did things that were over the line, but in a big game, it wasn't going to happen because you realize the magnitude, and that one little mistake that you speak of, that 5, 10, 20 yards can cost you a legacy, a championship, and others. So we're not going to put too much on that, but I think you just got to be aware of the situation and the magnitude of what's going on here.
And he's a fourth-year guy. This is something you got to know. You can't come in here and you talk about what happens in big games like this. You're coming into this game as a fourth-year guy. You got to know situations. You got to understand you can't make these type of mistakes and hurt your team at all. Like, this is really unacceptable. He's going to hear from the coaching staff at halftime, but it might cost
You just got to control your emotions, too. Like, at this point of the season, and you're right, I was going to say, too, this is not a rookie player at this point. Now, someone who's controlling their emotions is the entire defense, really, of the Montreal Alouettes. I mean, they've been great. We heard from Sutton there, and Dylan Wynn, too. I mean, with a great sack, but they're just setting the tone in this entire game.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at that defensive line, they're doing a great job of getting to Bo Levi Mitchell. Bo Levi Mitchell had one big mistake, and he threw an interception, but it was because of that Tex play up front. It was the Kandar Koo who went up front as well. He ran a game with the defensive end, and Bo had to throw it. And you see Sutton right there. Davis, you talk about this all the time as a DB. You want to play top down, and he was in perfect position for Kenny Lawler. If you're a defense, you're playing the Hamilton Tiger Cats, you know the ball's going to go to Kenny Lawler. And this defense is doing a great job right now of trying to keep him in check. You can't completely shut him down, but they're doing a good job of staying on top, and he was in perfect position motivation right there Sutton was to make the interception when it mattered.
And that's why so much of, to your point, so much of Northrop's defense, it's aggression, but you can't, and this is where they've been impressive today. There's going to be holes in their defense because there's voids in the zones. So you got to be communicative, make sure that when there's a void, you understand where the void is, and you play top down. You give up what you know you're giving up on that particular snap, and you rally to it. They've done a great job with that.
Yeah, and for me, defensively, just keep your eye on Lawler. Bo tends to throw to him a lot, even if he's double covered, so that's going to keep my eye on that guy. And on the other side, Montreal Alouettes, my eye is on Davis Alexander. Reason being, he hadn't had a great half. You know, he hadn't turned the ball over, but this guy likes to showboat. And I enjoy it. And I think a lot of people are saying, why is he showboating like that? Because you usually don't see quarterbacks do that. It's usually those diva receivers or those diva defensive backs or diva linebackers. You usually don't see a quarterback doing that. And now he's doing that, and hey, I like it.
You know why you don't see the best quarterbacks? And I have different mixed feelings. I think that his energy is energy that permeates the whole team. His confidence, his thing. You see, I mean, he has more rushing yards than anybody on the team. When they need big plays through his legs. One of the things, though, you said it, the best quarterbacks in the world, you rarely see them spending a lot of energy with the extracurricular. You know why? Because they have a whole lot on their plate. They got to manage the game. They got to manage all the personnel, clock, everything. They don't have time for it. I just hope that plays like that, the money thing and the pointing, I love the confidence. I just hope that none of that interferes with his composure on handling the game. As long as it doesn't, I love it. Keep being the guy and the dog you are, because your team's confidence is because of it.
Yeah, you got two different types of leadership here by Bo Levi Mitchell and Davis Alexander. I love the energy that Davis Alexander is bringing. I absolutely love it. And right now, this is the character, the personality that he's established for this team. Yeah. He's got to continue right now. He's got to continue. If he plays any different, the team's got to feel like there's a void.
I love it. I honestly don't feel like it's an act either.
No,
I think just watching him, I actually think he's just genuine, and even like the pointing and like looking at the crowd. I mean, I am
and
here
as long as you're winning, you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And you know what? I will take personalities in this league all day long, and Davis Alexander is certainly one of them. All right, with more on the first half, let's send it to the back. It's Paul Lapalisse.
I love the energy of this defense for the Montreal Alouettes. I wanted to figure out, hey, what is Hamilton going to do to stop them? First of all, Montreal's defense is the best in the CFL of preventing big plays. That's why we haven't seen many so far this game. But how do you stop the blitz? Look at what Hamilton's trying to do. Greg Bell's helping out the tackle with pressure off the front side edge. So you get two players to block. Give Bo that throw there on 2nd and 5 to Kenny Lawler. Here's another one. Two tight ends on their way to releasing. What do? They block the edges, then they release out into the pattern. Gives the throw outside to Kenny for a nice first down on first down. So you got to do it a different way. Sometimes you release the back right out in the flat to that zone that Davis talked about. Puts the outside zone defender in a 2-on-1 so Bo can throw it inside. So you got to mix up what you're doing. But you're always got to have an answer for blitz because it's going to come sooner or later. 2nd and 5, 7 players coming. Bo's already got the ball out of his hand because it's a quick game. There's the zone Davis just talked about. And again, another pressure situation. All right, Bo understands it. Hamilton's getting the ball out of their hands quickly. What I love about both of these defenses is they're tackling really well. You've seen so many 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 1.5s, where both teams are electing to punt because they're tackling so well on both sides of the ball.
Lapo, the OC, giving all the love to the defense. You love to see it. We've got ourselves a 3-point football game. Don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, we chat about the Western Final coming up from Regina.
It's gold. It's gold.
It's gonna go when you blow it high down. When you blow it high down. Yeah, blow it high down. Blow it high down.
We are getting set for the Western Final. The Rough Riders hosting BC, coming in, winning 7 straight games. The Riders hope to snap that streak and give their sold-out crowd at Mosaic something to celebrate. Is that AJ in a is in a tank? Dave Naylor did not wear that to Regina today. I like it. Now, we know it is a team game but there are some pigs on this BC team. Starts with Nathan Rourke, who recorded 5,854 yards of total offense. The guy he loves throwing it to, Keon Hatcher, first in the league in receiving yards. We can't forget about the defense. A couple of beasts, Micah Alway, 117 total tackles, and the star of the D, Canadian Matthew Betts, recording 15 QB sacks. Here now is Nathan Rourke.
I'm excited for the opportunity. I've been, the 2022 West final was hard for me to get over, and I'm just excited to be able to be back in a situation where you gotta get a do-over, more or less, at this situation, handling the outside noise, the distractions, and I'm excited to do it with this group, which I really enjoy being around, and not ready for this ride to end.
There's been no different approach this week. There's just more eyeballs on the game, and people may judge you a little bit more, this good or bad. And so, but that doesn't change anything I do. It's still 12 on 12. Go out there, play football, throw it over the head when they let you, take what they give you, stay on the field, be efficient. Those sorts of situations, it's all the same stuff.
Wait for this one, the Western Final from Mosaic. You can see it tonight, 7:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Meanwhile, in Hamilton, Canadian rock band The Trues putting on a show and hoping their Tiger Cats aren't quite ready to go.
Welcome back to the Hammer. Ticats looking to pave a path to the Grey Cup and get another crack at a trophy they haven't won since 1999. They trail 6-3 right now. Defensive battle here, Dwayne.
Well, it has been. You're not seeing, it's not like you're seeing the offenses missing opportunities, et cetera, and that's what's contributed to the score. There haven't been a lot of opportunities. Oddly enough, it seems like both teams are running the football pretty well. That's been the most noticeable thing offensively.
He's all CFL, Julian Hauser. He's standing by with Matthew Shinetti.
Defenses are setting the tone, Julian. How much do you like being in these situations where you guys can attack their offense and kind of set the tone?
This is what you live for as a defensive player. You just want the game to be in your hands, and you want to just keep playing what you're doing, and just don't overthink nothing. Just take it one play at a time.
Take us inside the locker room. What were the conversations like? What was the mood like? What was the emotions like before the second half?
Confident. Everyone knows what needs to be done, and we're going to do it.
Good to work. See ya.
Yes, sir.
Everyone knows what needs to be done, and we're going to do it. He is confident. Talk a lot about halftime adjustments. How much can that change the game? Like, we've seen 9 points in the first half. Are you expecting things to erupt in the second half, or is settling in for a battle like this?
I expect to see a couple of big plays in this half simply because of the players involved. Not so much because of what's said at halftime, but more a law of averages given who's playing.
We are underway. Montreal will have the ball first. Tice on the return. Decent field position. And a look at Davis Alexander using his legs in the first half.
Yeah, Alexander, as usual, trying to spread the ball around a little bit. It's mostly been the quick passing game. Again, get the ball out of his hands quickly. Not a lot of deep opportunities opening up, but as you said, yeah, Alexander, we know he's an athletic guy. Haven't necessarily seen him run a ton, but he's done a nice job kind of extending some plays using his legs here today.
80 passing yards, 48 on the ground. Now they'll give it to Scott. And he finds midfield and a good pickup on first down for Stevie Scott.
As I said, I think both teams have shown flashes in the run game, as you see Davis Alexander's numbers on the day. 80 yards passing, 48 on the ground. But certainly a good start there. The ball in the hands of Stevie Scott.
Stevie Scott has 26 yards on just 4 carries. Greg Bell on the other side is 47 yards on just 6 carries. So both running backs have found a way to be somewhat effective. Patterson now in short yardage. Hangs on to that ball, picks up the first down. And Montreal creeping onto the Ticats side of the field.
And we'll get a good look here. Once again, the Montreal Alouettes. Short yardage offense, getting the job done. They're into Ticat territory here very quickly. Montreal, by the way, with the wind at their backs here in the third quarter. You know, so they may want to go up tempo a little bit, kind of get in as many offensive plays as they can. Well, they have that edge with the breeze at their backs.
Alexander. Philpott puts a shoulder down and pushes it ahead, and it'll be second and very manageable for the Alouettes again.
Yeah, Montreal is so comfortable with the quick game, the hitch passes, bubble screens, etc., particularly to Tyson Philpott. Limited pickup there, but enough to force that second and short. But just knowing how good Philpott is with the ball in his hands after the catch. Low-risk play to make a nice first down game.
Looking for a couple more here. Scott stands in behind his quarterback. They'll give it to him. Pushes it ahead. Got to the 40, and that is enough for another Montreal first down. So the Alouettes coming out of the gate here in the second half, putting together a sustained offensive drive.
Yeah, good field position to start things off. And Stevie Scott with a couple of touches here early in the third quarter, making his mark on the ball game.
He watches on, now slides up to the left of his quarterback. Alexander, Rambo, first time today, bounces off the initial tackle and pushes it ahead. And they're just dinking and dunking their way down the field here to start the half.
Yeah, happy essentially to take what the defense is giving them. And I think this has been the case for both teams in terms of the passing game, is that some of the short stuff has been there, as much as we talk about the gunslingers at quarterback, Bo Levi Mitchell and Davis Alexander.
2 deepest shots of the day. One was a PI, and then Bo the other way threw an interception. Here's Alexander. This looks like a quarterback keeper. Picks it ahead, and he's got a first down for Montreal.
Yeah, he gets out on the edge where he's got an option in terms of what he wants to do with the ball. Davis Alexander sees a lane to that first down marker, and he's just going to take it.
Alexander already carried the ball 6 times for over 50 yards in this game. First down from the Hamilton 28. Looking to silence the crowd here early in the half. Look deep. Now he's on the run to his right. And that is broken up. Trying to find Philpott. But broken up by White.
Quavian White making his first start of the season at corner. He did have one start. If you watch Philpott right on that right edge of your screen, down the hash mark. Bending it out. But White providing pretty good coverage, gets his left hand in to bat that one away.
Ticats defense trying to stall this drive. Second and 10. Alexander. Pressure coming on the run to his right. Gotta go. Looks down the field to the end zone. Got it. Touchdown Montreal. Alexander to Sneed.
This play is largely a result of Davis Alexander's mobility. The skill he has outside receiver on the left. He's straight down the field. He's on a short route initially. You saw Alexander signal to him as he gets on the run. Take it vertical. Sneed heads up towards the end zone. Alexander hits him for the game's first major.
Snuck it in over the top of Katsatonis. And Sneed, who was quiet last week in the semifinal, strikes here. Cap off an 8-play, 63-yard drive. Maltos Diaz for a 10-point lead, and he nails it. What a start to the third quarter for the visitors here in Hamilton. On the run, Alexander finds his favorite target. Sneed makes no mistake. Alouettes to the end zone.
The Montreal Alouettes have the first touchdown of this ball game here on the opening drive of the third quarter. A little bit of Stevie Scott, a little bit of Tyson Philpott, certainly some Davis Alexander, whether with his arm or his legs. And one of the bigger vertical plays of the day.
Yeah, we haven't seen them go down the field that much.
No, not a lot. But Alexander on the scramble, finding his favorite target, Tyler Sneed, for the touchdown.
Wooden takes it just outside the 15. Tripped up, stays on his feet, trying to find an edge. He will not. And Kenny Lawler, good first half. 6 catches, 70 yards. Will look to spark the Ticats offense when we return to Hamilton. Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats just 3 points in the first half, but Kenny Lawler did his part, 70 yards on 6 catches.
Yeah, and this is why Kenny Lawler was signed by the Hamilton Tiger Cats, to get them into big games and to produce for them in those situations. He's certainly done his part through the opening 30 minutes. We'll look for more here in the second half.
Bo Levi, 12 of 15, 119, and an interception, which was thrown in Kenny Lawler's direction. Now he gets it out to Robinson. Turns it upfield. Kenny Lawler burst onto the scene in Hamilton in a big way this year, becoming a part of what was already a pretty good receiving group, but he had a huge season.
Yeah, and there you see most receiving yards for players in their first year with the Tiger Cats. Kenny Lawler tops on the list. Terrific names there. I remember Matt Cody came from Birmingham up to play for the Cats. Darren Flutie, Keith Baker, a couple greats. For those wondering, by the way, I had 99 yards in my first year as a Tiger.
So just off that list.
Yeah, I just missed.
Almost had it. Now they go back far side of the field. And that one this time to Smith. He had a couple of catches in the first half, obviously capable of a monster game himself. He had 14 catches in a game this year. Topped out at 171 yards.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the depth of the Montreal receiving core and that ability for anybody to step up. You look at the trio of Lawler, Smith, and Tim White, all within 2 catches of each other, and all over 1,000 yards on the season.
Yeah, 2 of them with 86 catches. Tim White had 84. This one goes nowhere as they try to get something going on the ground. Bell was pretty productive in the few touches he did have in the first half. Stopped here after a yard, maybe 2.
And knowing the production Greg Bell had in the first half, as well as what he did to the Alouettes in their previous meeting, their most recent meeting in the regular season. Got to believe Noel Thorpe was talking to his troops about limiting the run game here in the second half so they can get to doing their thing, which is getting after quarterbacks.
2nd and 7 for both. 4 options out to the right. Pressure coming from the left. It is, he throws down the field, waiting for it over there. Bridges pulls it in, and that'll move the sticks.
Yeah, East Division Rookie of the Year in 2024 with the arrival of Kenny Lawler. He shifts positions. He's lined up on the wide side a little more. And we mentioned the numbers. He's the outside guy, just outside the numbers, running that little comeback along the sideline. But Scott Milanovich has talked a lot during the season about the professionalism of Shamar Bridges. There's been no complaining about not getting the ball a lot as we talk about the numbers of those other three guys.
First catch of the game is a big one for him. Goes for 16. Now they go back to Bell. Good patience, and then turns it upfield. Beverett with the tackle, but he got probably 6 yards on that first down carry.
On the echo. All right, good.
And there you see Shamar Bridges, terrific first season in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah.
Limited this season.
Couldn't have been easy, right? To take the back seat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very different role, but was there to answer anytime his number was called this season.
And the answer is what the Ticats are looking to do here. Mitchell to his left, finds Lawler, cuts it inside, nice move, down inside the 25 before he's taken down by Anto and Sankey.
And we'll watch Kenny Lawler here, working across the field. You know, not a guy who's necessarily known as a big after-the-catch guy, but a nice little kick out there to avoid the tackle.
Hey, pal! Wide.
Hamilton looking to answer this touchdown to start the half from the Alouettes.
Hey, come on.
Bell and Littre both in there, and Bo Levi calls a timeout.
Hey.
Did he get it in before these flags fly?
We're good. I call timeout.
He says, we're good. I called a timeout. Hamilton.
I trust him.
Take his word for it, I guess.
Yeah, Bo recognizing. Yeah, anytime you get an opportunity in close in a game like this, not a lot of points, close game here in the playoffs.
Big team.
You've got to make the most of the situation, of the opportunity here.
Well, last time we saw them get down here, it was a penalty, a couple of penalties that pushed them back and stopped what might have been a possible touchdown drive.
Stud, Hopper, tire burst.
Had to settle for 3. This time he's got things set up the way he likes it. From the Alouette 23. Has time. Found a target. Robinson, his 3rd catch of the game. Sankey was there to wrap him up. Well, Robinson only had 14 catches in the regular season, but he's got 3 so far here today.
Yeah, and, you know, interesting to see the Tiger Cats on first down going with, you know, what they call their big team with the fullback, Nante Littre in the game, as well as a tight end. Going a little bit old school. But I know Scott Milanovich likes, you know, some of the mismatches that can create in terms of size and body types.
First trip to the red zone today for Mitchell in this Ticats offense. Can they go from the red zone to the end zone here? Mitchell, a ton of time looking around and ends up gunning it down. It'll be a first down just inside the 10. He goes back to Bridges for the 2nd time in the quarter.
I'm not sure if there may have been a little miscommunication there. If you notice, basically 2 receivers in Bridges and Lawler kind of sitting on the same spot. But things work out for the Tiger Cats. Get a 1st and goal.
Yeah, 1st and goal from the Montreal 9. Mitchell goes to Bell, and he's going to be wrapped up before he can find a path home on that one. Beverett there to close the door.
Yeah, they use the tight end in that situation with a free release.
Hey, Terry, hold right.
Tight end Robinson's going to go vertical as you see Bell kind of coming into the space cleared by the tight ends route.
12 straight completions for Bo Levi Mitchell. Second and goal from the Montreal 3. Looks to his left, now over to the right, throws it, end zone, touchdown, got it. Right back to Bridges. Ticats have life at home in the East Final.
Three catches for Shamar Bridges on that possession, culminating in the Ticats' first touchdown of this ball game. Essentially working in space out on that field side. It's he and Kabianento. He's able to get that inside position.
Legio, no mistake, puts it straight through, and we once again have a 3-point ball game in the hammer. 10 plays, 77 yards into the waiting arms of Shamar Bridges.
Well, counter punch here to start the third quarter. Montreal Alouettes get the game's first touchdown. The Hamilton Tiger Cats respond. Bo Levi Mitchell marching his team down the field on a drive that included 3 catches, like that one by Shamar Bridges. Often the wide side wide receiver, occasionally a forgotten man in this Ticats offense, but he comes up big with the touchdown grab to pull the Cats back within 3.
2 touchdowns during the regular season for Bridges. He's got a big one here. Now Letcher on the return, and he'll be tracked down. Ternowski making the play on a beautiful Saturday night in Hamilton. Well, there is no shortage of fire and emotion in the game of Davis Alexander, and we saw that at home last week in Montreal. He was fired up on the sidelines, he was fired up on the field, and for more on this, let's send it down to the sidelines and Matthew Genetti.
The one thing missing in that pack of all those emotions, Dusty, was the flag that the officials dropped in the second half, where it was an objectionable conduct call against Davis Alexander. We were speaking to him yesterday. You could see him deliberating the merits of using that emotion for his benefit and his team's benefit, but also trying to tamp that down. Jason Moss says he doesn't want Davis Alexander to be anyone but Davis Alexander, and you can see it today. If you're watching him on the sidelines, he's pacing back and forth with a grimace on his face, almost like he's containing himself, but we've seen it on long runs when he throws up those emotions, cups his hands around his ear to get these Ticat fans going. They're going now. Let's see how his emotions are, because he was right and ready to go after that touchdown pass to Tyler Snead on that last long drive. Ticats now are within 3, and they're going to come after him. Let's see what he does, guys.
Let's see how he settles in. He started on the ground with Tice. Finds a little bit of space around the edge. Short pickup. It seems like that's who he is, though, right? It's in his DNA.
Yeah, I mean, as Matthew talked about, it's kind of what seems to fuel him, fuels his team. Jason Moss told us, I don't want Davis to change anything. You know, maybe as time goes on in his career, you know, he may reflect and, you know, things may change a little bit. He may evolve a little bit in that way, but, I mean, this is who he is now, and this is what's working for him. Just go with it.
Second and 6, he's got 4 receivers out to his right, looks to his left, throws to his left, down the field, taken away! Talbert slides over, and the Ticats Bullhawks get one on Alexander this time.
Dustin Talbert, the second-year man. Keep an eye towards the right side of your screen at the 48-yard line. That's Talbert, the halfback. Only one receiver working to that side. So that frees him up to help out his corner. Jamal Peters, he ranges out towards that sideline. Comes up with one of the biggest plays of this game so far.
He had 3 in the regular season, but this one a monster. Now they'll hand it off to Bell. Bell upended by Beveretz. Let's give you another look at this interception.
Yeah, matchup up at the top. You know, you can see Peters kind of recognizes at a certain point that Talbert's in position. He just lets his guy go and get that one. Second-year man. Start of last season, he was playing the nickel position. When Chris Jones took over as defensive coordinator, they shuffled the deck a little bit. He moved back to halfback and has really found a home there.
Ticats defense, 27 interceptions during the regular season to lead the league. Now they hand it off. A big extra push and a first down in the hands of Bell again.
You feel like maybe the Tiger Cats were watching the clip of that Stevie Scott touchdown from last week with the offensive lineman joining in to provide a little extra boost for their running back. See everybody staying on their blocks, looking to help Greg Bell finish this play.
Saw Revenberg get turned around and then just see the pile and decided to move it a bit. Now they'll toss it out. A little bit of a reverse. Now they're flipping back to ball and it's blocked. Grabbed by an offensive lineman. Flags fly everywhere. And that was quite something, wasn't it?
Exactly how they drew it up, Dustin. We're going to try and get Liam Dobson open just behind the line of scrimmage.
And then we'll give it to him, yeah.
Yeah, this is a terrific play by Greg Bell because he's got a delay long enough for Tim White to get there. You know, Bo loads it up and tries to get it deep, but the Alouettes did well to kind of stay disciplined and have someone in position to actually defend the quarterback. A lot of times the whole premise of this play, I think it was Luol Uguak who got his arms up on that one, but so often the premise of that play is you see Davis Alexander watching it from the sidelines, but the idea is that the quarterback is going to be forgotten. Like, nobody is defending pass anymore. Everybody's defending the run, whoever is carrying the ball. But Uguak kept his eyes on the quarterback and got there to affect the throw.
Long discussion amongst the officials here.
Yeah, I think he had kind of a peel back type block there, which will go against the Tiger Cats.
Hamilton diving deep into the playbook on that one.
There's no foul for blindside block against Hamilton 59, and the ball is tipped, so the catch is legal. Second down.
In the end, it'll be 2nd and 16. Love to see them try it again right away. Nobody will see that coming.
Nope.
All right, can Bo Levi Mitchell find a first down on 2nd and long here? Montreal sends 4. Bo gets it away. It's to his running back. All by himself out there and had nowhere to go to Greg Bell. So after the interception, they'll be forced to kick it away. Ticats team that led the league in points off of turnovers this year, unable to get anything here.
Yeah, big stand is obviously you can see the Tiger Cats in a game where there hasn't been a lot, as we said, in the way of big plays, trying to manufacture something, trying to manufacture an explosive play any way they can, because it can be the difference in this ball game. But the Alouettes come up with the tip.
Letcher takes it at the 15, bouncing around, and eventually pinballs his way up to the 25. Alouettes leading at the end of the third quarter, 13-10, as one of these teams hoping to go to the Grey Cup. Welcome back to Hamilton, where in the third quarter, Dwayne, we had these things called touchdowns that were scored by the teams, and we got a three-point game heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so things still stand exactly as they did. A three-point lead for the Montreal Alouettes. You know, to me, what looms large is that Maltos Diaz field goal at the end of the first half. Montreal sneaking in that last possession before the break. Huge catch by Tyler Sneed, where he gets absolutely blasted and holds on to the football. But yeah, things maybe starting to open up a little bit, and you know, as we alluded to with Hamilton trying, I'm not going to call it a trick play, but a creative offensive play that teams may be kind of, I mean, it's playoffs. It's kind of now or never.
Open it up a bit, eh?
Yeah, whatever it takes to make that play that could prove to be the difference in the game.
Tice at running back. Now he moves over to the slot. Sneed will come in to protect for Davis Alexander. And that's where they're going to go to the running back. It's Tice. He's got it at the 50. Makes a move. Katsatonis is on him. And he'll end up taking him down. But a big strike here from Davis Alexander to his running back, Travis Tice.
Yeah, and you're going to see man coverage. The linebacker, the middle linebacker, Braxton Hill, goes out to cover Travis Tice on this play. And a little bit of a mismatch in space. And it's the fake hitch. Hill gets sucked in believing that Tice is just going to block. And Tice has the speed that's going to be tough for the linebacker to try and make up ground and track him down. Now you see Montreal getting creative, trying to make that play as Hamilton did moments ago.
Longest play of the game for the Montreal offense. Alexander, a deep drop here, goes back to Tice again, turns it upfield to the 40, and is taken down by Hill. Back-to-back plays for Travis Tice, and he's making something out of him.
Yeah, again, Tice's first game back in this Alouette lineup in a few weeks. And he's looking to make a difference here in the second half.
He and Scott are different types of backs, aren't they? 7 more for Tice. 2nd and 3 here for Alexander, looking to extend this Montreal lead. On the ground, Tice lowers his shoulder, picks up the first down. Osai with the tackle.
Yeah, the track meet that some may have anticipated with this matchup. Two fairly prolific offenses through the regular season. Or perhaps prolific quarterbacks might be the more accurate description, but things starting to open up here a bit in the second half.
1st and 10 from the 31. Out to Tice again, looking for some blocking help. Found a little bit of it. And it'll be a 2nd and manageable here for Davis Alexander.
You're going to watch the 3 receivers for Montreal out to that wide side of the field. All getting locked up on their blocks to try and create some space for Travis Tice to go to work.
Tice has touched the ball on all 4 plays on this drive so far. On the sideline now. Scott back into the game at running back. Couple steps up to the right of Alexander. And they'll give it to him. This time the big back takes it right down the middle, up the gut for a first down for the Alouettes. Nice 1-2 punch at running back here.
That has certainly been that. Nice kick out there by the left guard, Des Holmes. Again, late lineup change. Pierre-Olivier Lestage out of the lineup. Holmes in as you see Stevie Scott hobbling to the sideline.
A little bit of a limp on his way off. Tice back in the game. There he is. Slides up to the left of Alexander. He's got 2 options out to his left. That's where he's going to run. Under pressure, avoids it, takes it down inside the 10. Pushed out of bounds by Katsatonis, just beyond the 5.
And Davis Alexander able to break contain. Philip Osai makes the diving attempt and comes up empty. Alexander then just directing traffic. Pick up what he can.
Injured Tycat on the field. You saw on that play diving to try to get to Davis Alexander. Osai, I believe, is down just outside the 20-yard line. And as they take a look at him, we'll step away from the hammer.
There's Ticats defensive end, Philip Osai, making his way to the sidelines under his own power. He's the contained man. He's trying to make a play on quarterback Davis Alexander. Watch him reach with his right arm, trying to trip him up, and the right arm gets caught underneath. He kind of overextends, reaching, trying to swipe the feet out from underneath Davis Alexander. Awkward position, his whole body weight kind of landing on that arm.
Alouettes, first and goal from the Ticats 6. Alexander gives it to Tice. Made one move down inside the 5. A gang tackled there by the Ticats linebackers.
A very running back centric drive here. Nice cutback from Tice, but a good job by Devin Veresuk, second overall pick in the 2025 CFL draft, to shed the block and keep him out of the end zone.
They'll try it again. Second and goal from the Ticat 4. Alexander has it himself. Pressure in his face. He's in trouble and he's taken down. Veresuk is there. All over it from the start.
Devin Veresuk just to the right of the goalposts here does a nice job in space, staying under control. He's the free man, doesn't overrun the play. Going on to track down Davis Alexander and keep this as a one-score ball game.
Altos Diaz, just a little 17-yarder for a 6-point lead. And he blasts it through. Montreal leads by 6 with just over 9 minutes to play. Davis Alexander wanted to find a path to the end zone. Veresuk would have none of it. Now the CFL Grey Cup playoffs continue. West Final, Lions taking on the Riders. Catch all the action. 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on TSN. Should be a good one to follow up this one. And we've got a great finish coming up here in Hamilton.
Yeah, great playoff season so far here in the Canadian Football League. A couple of terrific close ball games last weekend. More of the same here in the Hammer.
Bo Levi Mitchell gets the ball back. He has completed 15 passes in a row. Trails by 6. Starts on his 40. Looks over the middle. And White coming back to that ball. Defended well by Ento. And Ento wins that battle.
Yeah, White working back to it. Ento right with him. Able to use that reach and get a hand in on the play. Terrific coverage.
Harry State Noggin. Harry State Noggin. Hey, both.
First incompletion in quite some time for Mitchell. Veteran quarterback will look to settle back in. Start a new streak here. Smith slides over. Slot to his right. That's where he goes. Has it at midfield. First down and more. Sankey will eventually push him down, but a big play from the Ticats onto the Alouettes side of the field.
Keandre Smith has provided so many big plays. Right on the right edge of your screen is Keandre Smith. Nice route there, a little head fake. Bounce it in to shake the defender, Beverette, create a little bit of separation. 1,000-yard season.
Mitchell finds Robinson. Beverette makes the tackle. Fourth catch of the game for Giovanni Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson, the global player, originally from Jamaica. Played a little college basketball before turning to the game of football.
That's what you do when you're 6'8".
Yes.
Lawler at the bottom of your screen. Everybody else up to the wide side left for Mitchell. Second and 4. Alouettes are going to bring some pressure. Looking for Lawler, and Kenny couldn't get there in time. Working against Lorenzo Burns, and that'll bring up third down.
Yeah, critical situation. The Ticats all the way. Just trying to get Kenny Lawler in a one-on-one matchup. They create that with the formation, but just off the mark.
Legio to get 3 points back. This will be from just inside 50. 48-yard attempt for Legio. Letcher waits in the end zone. Legio puts that one up, and there is no doubt about it. And the Ticats claw back within 3. 7.5 to play. Davis Alexander in the middle of that huddle. For more on him, let's send it down to Matthew Shinetti.
Now keep an eye on that left hamstring. We know what happened to Davis Alexander earlier in the year. We know what happened to him on that last drive. When he got tackled by Devin Versa, he came off the sidelines, talked to the Owls medical staff, went on the bike, was biking for just a little bit, came off, walked a little bit, went into the tent. McLeod Bethel Thompson and James Morgan started warming up. Yes, Davis Alexander is out there. We know how tenuous this is and what has happened with his hamstring. This is a critical drive for him, guys.
Drama gets cranked up just a little bit more here in Hamilton.
Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
They'll start it at their 40.
No.
Gets it out to Philpott. Philpott can't get away from Braxton Hill. That's his 10th tackle of the ball game.
And again, it's that bread and butter hitch to Tyson Philpott that relies so much on his ability in open space and after the catch ability to make people miss, but Braxton Hill containing the play.
The crowd hearing the hammer to their feet. Alexander on the run. To his right, pressure coming, gets it away, found a man. Sivashu's got it, and Davis is up again. You saw him reaching back on that hamstring again, didn't you?
And a little bit of a limp.
This is concerning to the Alouettes. He runs off the field now, and there is definitely a bit of a hitch in his giddy-up.
And, you know, obviously he wants to try and fight through that, but there's no hiding that he's in some discomfort here.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I didn't
MBT, quick chat with him. Zima, first punt of the half for him. Kicks it away from his own 35. Bobbled, but held on to. There's a flag. Wooden's going to try to reverse the field. Finds the 20. Back to the 30 before he's taken down. Beverette makes the play. But there is a flag over by the 30. As Bo Levi Mitchell trots back onto the field, this time down by just 3.
Hey, no yards, yeah? Hey, Rose, trips right tight, yell.
Looks like the Tiger Cats, if you keep an eye in that box, certainly less than a 5-yard radius. For Terrell Richards, I believe, was that first Alouette. Jamal Peters has him matched up. Richards trying to hold him at bay. I think some discussion amongst the officials as to whether, with all the hand fighting going on.
Montreal number 42. It's a 15-yard penalty, and it's first down.
That is an important 15 yards in a 3-point game with just over 5.5 to play.
Terrell Richards, who's been an absolute monster for Montreal on special teams, leading the Canadian Football League in special teams tackles this year.
Hurry, hurry, Hunt! OV Yankee cheat! OV Yankee cheat! Dragon! Back left, Dragon!
Mitchell
Scoop!
getting a look at that defense, switching things up.
Hurry, Hunt!
Montreal brings some heat. Bo gets it away, finds Kenny Lawler, and Lawler's got it down inside the 50 before Ento wraps him up and takes him down. Another big one to Kenny Lawler, and that'll put him over 100 yards on the day.
And again, it's not like Lawler is wide open here. An accurate throw from Mitchell. He knows he gets that anywhere near Kenny Lawler. 89's coming down with it. Catches him in stride to get into Alouette territory.
Hey, Delaware, Copper. Hey, give me your Copper.
Mitchell has completed 25 of his 30 passes so far in this one.
Hurry, Hunt!
Fakes the handoff, has time, down the field, and throws it in front of, and just short of the intended target, Keandre Smith.
Yeah, Bo knew he had his guy. Smith bending across the field here. Just a one-hopper. You see the reaction right away from Bo Levi Mitchell.
He knew, didn't he?
Yeah, that one just didn't come out quite as intended.
Good news is he gets another crack at it here. Bad news, it's still 2nd and 10.
Hurry, Hunt!
Over the middle. Down to the 40. First time today he's put it in the hands of O'Leary Orange. Be about a yard short.
And no hesitation, of course, from the Tiger Cat sideline when you consider the field position, score, time, etc. They get the short yardage folks out on the field to go get this.
Ogala pushing it ahead. Only needed the 39. Looked like he got it. And that spot should confirm that he did.
Hey!
Yeah, Olagala, everybody's up on the line of scrimmage. Olagala patiently, sort of waiting to see where a bit of a soft spot develops and then surging forward.
Chicago! Hurry, Hunt!
Fresh set of downs from the Alouette 38.
Yellowfin lefty!
Inside 3 minutes now in Hamilton.
Hurry, Hunt!
Empty for Bull. Far side, Bridges takes it down inside the 30. And the Tiger Cats have not led yet in this ball game. They will try to change that when we return to Hamilton. It's been a tight one from the very beginning. Coming down to the final 3 minutes. Of course, Why wouldn't it?
C'est votre jour de chasse. Dirigez-vous vers les tables de service aux partisans.
Davis Alexander watching on as Bo Levi Mitchell settles back in here. Second and a couple to keep this drive alive. 2.5 on the clock.
Hurry, hurry, son!
They'll move him to his right, throwing in that direction, and he's got a first down into the waiting arms of Kenny Lawler.
You know, one of the things that's amazing to watch in this ball game is there are these situations where the Tiger Cats have got to have it, and it just seems like, you know, I mean, this is a team with 3 1,000-yard receivers, but there is no doubt where they're going with the ball
Kenny,
when they got to have it, and he keeps getting it.
9 catches, 117 yards for the best in the league this season. Mitchell, deep drop pressure coming, gets it away, trying to find Kenny again. Incomplete, working against Dequoy.
Yeah, Dequoy right in his hip pocket. You see Kenny Lawler coming out of the slot. Here he's going to work across the field. Dequoy picking him up. And throw had to be perfect. You could kind of see from the first angle, like really how tight Dequoy was in terms of the coverage there. But they're trying to isolate Kenny Lawler back into that boundary side of the field, sending all the flow the other way.
Second and 10 for Mitchell. Montreal only sends 3. Bo drops it off. Big hit just outside the 15. And that will bring up third down. Got it into the hands of Bridges, but it wasn't enough for a first.
Yeah, the Montreal Alouettes doing a nice job tightening up there on second down. Forcing Bo Levi Mitchell to settle for the underneath route to Bridges as he works through his progression. Darnell Sankey there to quickly make the tackle.
Leggio, perfect so far today. Just a 23-yarder in what's been a sensational season for him to tie this game at 16. No mistake. We're deadlocked. 16 apiece. 147 left in the great crowd sold out here at Hamilton Stadium. And they are a tense group right now, aren't they, Dwayne?
Well, they certainly are. The Hamilton Tiger Cat franchise that has not won the Grey Cup since 1999. Longest current cup drought in the Canadian Football League. Right now just fighting for a chance to get back to the big game against the Montreal Alouettes.
They've been there 4 times since '99, unable to get it done against Saskatchewan, Calgary, and of course, back-to-back years against the Bombers. Davis Alexander, we've been monitoring that situation with Alexander. He's been limping, looks like he's having some issues with that left leg once again, and MBT continues to warm up on the sidelines. We'll see what Letcher or Tice can do for a return here for Montreal. Letcher takes it just outside the 15. Found one block, now another, takes it outside the 35. And Davis Alexander, perfect so far in his young career, 12-0. And how about the guy on the other side here? Pretty good start for Bo Levi as well.
Yeah, it's, I know talking to Bo a little bit, he recognizes and appreciates some of the similarities, as is Davis Alexander. Great respect for Bo as a veteran guy who's enjoyed tremendous success in this league.
Maltos Diaz hit through 58 earlier this year. Davis Alexander hands it off to Scott. Found a little bit of room. Tracked down from behind. Verzug on the tackle. Picked up at least 4.
Verzug doing a nice job there, identifying the play, tracking down the ball carrier. Big second down here for the Alouettes.
Alexander needs to find 6. Goes over the middle. He's got 6. Found Rambo. First down, Montreal. 71 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Rambo's going to start off out wide. He's just working underneath. Throttles it down when he knows he's kind of between defenders there. Nice execution for the Alouettes on that second down conversion.
Just the second catch of the game for Charleston Rambo. This time, Alexander works from his own 49. Has time. Right over the middle, almost intercepted. Oh, Stubblefield had a look at it. Couldn't haul it in. 2nd and 10 for Montreal.
Yeah. Alexander maybe got a little locked in, trying to get a big chunk on that play as Reggie Stubblefield was kind of dropping underneath that route from the word go.
Absolutely massive 2nd and 10 here. Hamilton crowd back to their feet. Alexander have a little bit more magic. He's in trouble. Gets it away. Tackle, missed. Rambo's got it down inside the 45. What a play from Charleston Rambo, his biggest and most important of the game. And Montreal has moved within field goal range.
Yeah, he's going to catch the ball well short. Keep an eye on the middle linebacker here, Verzug. Just missing as he sort of was overcommitted to one side. Rambo able to sidestep him and get north-south with a first down into Ticat territory.
Davis looked like he was throwing that on one leg when he let that go, didn't he? Didn't have much pressure on that left leg.
Yeah, just gutting it out here.
Within Maltos Diaz field goal range, undoubtedly here. They'll give it to Scott inside the 40 with 26 seconds. Now 25 on the clock.
Timeout, Hamilton.
Yes, some clutch kicks there for Jose Maltos Diaz. Be kicking into a little bit of a wind here. It seems to come and go. But he would be kicking into that wind here, should it come to that.
Maltos Diaz has been clutch when it mattered most so far this season. We mentioned earlier in the game, 58 field goals made this year from Maltos Diaz, 2 shy of the CFL all-time record.
Even. Hey, we're dirt.
Stevie Scott stands next to Davis Alexander. Surely he's going to get the ball here. They'll give it to him. hangs on to it. It takes it down just outside the 35.
And a few more seconds off that clock.
You know the deal. 1 second timeout. Okay.
And Davis Alexander banged up. Perfect 12-0 to start his career. Has led this team down the field and into field goal range.
You can hear Davis Alexander go to the official in terms of managing the clock and tell him they've got the 20-second time clock, play clock. There are 21 seconds on the game clock. We're calling a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock. So basically milking it down here. We'll call timeout and send the field goal unit out with Jose Maltos Diaz.
Timeout, Montreal.
So it'll be an opportunity for Maltos Diaz to kick the visitors here tonight, the Montreal Alouettes, into the Grey Cup next week in Winnipeg.
And if he misses, the Hamilton Tiger Cats have to get the ball out of the end zone. They've got 3 guys going deep. They're not playing for the block here. They're playing to get the ball out of the end zone.
We don't need that conversation tonight, do we?
Well, the Western guy doesn't.
Maltos Diaz with an opportunity to win it for the Alouettes. From just inside 45 yards, the kick is up for the win. Got it! Montreal gets the job done, and the Alouettes are off to the Grey Cup in Winnipeg. Heartbreak for Bo Levi Mitchell and the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Oh, what a clutch final offensive drive, culminating in the Jose Maltos Diaz kick to propel the Montreal Alouettes to the big dance.
Pretty much 90% all season. Nobody busier. And Maltos Diaz comes up big for the Alouettes. Kenny Lawler, big night. Not enough for the Ticats. With how good he has been, as long as that hold was down.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been automatic for most of the year.
I mean, Maltos Diaz, such a great story, right? This is part of the first wave of global players to come into the Canadian Football League. You know, essentially a practice roster guy for his first number of years. Last year in Montreal when David Cote went down, Jason Moss wasn't looking to the outside for a kicker. It was next man up, and that was Jose Maltos Diaz. And he's been making big kicks for this team ever since. None bigger than that one.
Big smile on Davis Alexander, who remains Mr. Perfect. 13-0. Maltos Diaz carried around the field by his teammates, and Bo Levi Mitchell, first playoff start in 4 years, ends in defeat despite completing 29 of 36 pass attempts.
I told you, bro.
Let's send it down to Matthew Shinetti with Davis Alexander.
Davis, you have to take me through your mindset. That drive before you set up the game-winning field goal, I see you clutching that hamstring, that damn hamstring that's been bothering you all season.
Yes, sir.
And yet you came out practically on one leg and led your team to the game-winning field goal. Take me through your mindset.
Man, I got to give thanks to this whole team, thanks to this whole city, thanks to this whole organization. I mean, I didn't play my best game, but you know, found a way to somehow get it done, and that's what we're built on. That's what we do. You know, I honestly thought this was going to be a low-scoring game going in. I think they have a tremendous defense. They schemed us up pretty good, and I missed a little bit, but you give us a chance, we're gonna give us the best chance to win.
Fucking legend killer! That's a fucking legend killer right there. Let's go.
Love it, baby. Love it, baby.
Compete is what this team's philosophy has always been. How is that going to set you up for next week in Winnipeg?
Yeah, we feel like we're made for this. It's gonna, whoever we play, it's gonna be an amazing game. It's gonna be an amazing atmosphere. We're built on competition, like you said, and that's what we're gonna have to do next week.
You think we'll see you next week? How much time are you going to take on that hamstring? I imagine you're going to be off your feet for a little bit now.
There is no doubt you will see me next week.
Congratulations, Davis.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Dusty?
There is no doubt you will see me next week. So in case you wanted a bunch of storylines, Grey Cup week about the hamstring of Davis Alexander, he's trying to put that to bed already. Clearly, though, it was a bit of an issue for him.
Yeah, I mean, by the way he battled through to stay in this ball game tonight, obviously in a great deal of discomfort. But when he needed to get it done, he absolutely got it done, leading a game-winning drive, culminating in the Maltos Diaz walk-off field goal, making plays, managing the clock.
Let's send it back down to Matthew Shinetti.
Alongside Isaac Adiemi-Berglund, how much did you like this kind of game? In the trenches, defenses against defenses. You said it to me just as you came up. What a game.
Hey, first of all, credit to Hamilton, man. The fans, the environment was crazy. But as we talk about, and as we always do, it's 1%. Montreal, baby. Montreal in the stands. Montreal traveling 12 hours to be here. We love Montreal, and we're going to do it for y'all.
How much does this team ride on Davis Alexander? As soon as that game, obviously everyone went over to Jose Maltos Diaz, but everyone else ran over to Davis Alexander. How much is he the heartbeat of this team?
He's our guy, man. He's our lifeblood, and he puts everything into it. We talk about playing, and everyone's dealing with losses, man. And that guy, man, he's probably lost maybe the most out of all of us. And so we come together for that guy. We love him. But everybody on this team, man, we're the closest team that I've ever been on in my life. And it shows through our players, Davis, Jose, the defense, the offense, the teams, the coaches, and this community. When you think of Montreal, you think of the Alouettes, and this is our time.
You head into the Grey Cup next week, Isaac. Knowing your energy and intensity, how are you going to keep yourself mentally on a level over the next 7 days?
Football.
Gonna be tough.
Yeah, man, it will be tough, but just excited for another week with our team. We earned this, man. It's been 364 days in the making that we've felt that pain and that suffering, and to come in here and embrace the uncertainty, embrace the last seconds of this game together, says a lot. But it's just one more game. Same way we approach this game, we'll approach the next one.
Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Let's go! Let's go!
Dusty.
Delaney talks about the pain and suffering of last year and getting back here with an opportunity to get it done this year. Does mean a little bit more, doesn't it, after the defeat that you suffered last year?
Well, I believe that it does. This has been a journey, not just 20 games in 2025 in the making. You know, it has been for a number of these players, I mean, continuing a journey that largely started in 2023 when Jason Moss came on as the head coach, but a year last year in which they were the first place team in the East, the defending Grey Cup champions, appearing to be on a path back to the Grey Cup game, but just unable to get it done a year ago. This time they've taken that step and look to complete the mission next week.
The Montreal Alouettes, midpoint of this season, lost 5 games in a row. Since then, since September 13th when they got that win, they won 5 in a row. They lost that final game of the year against Winnipeg, in which they weren't playing everybody. And now it's back-to-back playoff victories and a trip to the Grey Cup, not unlike the team 2 years ago that won 5 in a row to wrap the regular season and then went on a run to the Grey Cup as well. All right, let's send it back down to Matthew Shinetti on the field.
Well, Hamilton has become a very special place for the Montreal Alouettes over the last few seasons. Head coach Jason Moss. On the crest that you have built for the culture of this team is the 3-minute warning. So much of the championship history of this team is based upon the 3-minute warning. Take us through why the compete level of this team never wavers when it comes down to the critical seconds.
It comes down to competing to the very end, always believing in each other, the connection that we've made throughout a year, throughout the last 3 years. Guys believe, guys play for one another, and they work so hard in practice, they compete like hell, and it just comes down to that, and nothing more than that. And we said it right coming out from halftime. We do a thing called the 30 cal challenge every single week. We've done it the last 9 weeks, and it hurts, and it's hell to go through. But we talk about it. We're able to finish because of it. And so coming out of halftime, that's all they said was it's just another 30 cal. And but it was going to come down to that. We knew it was going to be a tough-fought game. And that 19, that 9 means something to this team. And it's been grind for 9 for a long time now. We're ready for it.
I know that 30 cal challenge is pedaling on the bike as fast as you can, but when you saw Davis Alexander on the bike touching his hamstring, did you have any doubt that he would go out and lead your team to a victory?
I had no doubt. I mean, he said he's going to finish no matter what, and I believe him, and the team believes in him. So, you know, obviously he'll get the treatment he needs to get on to the next one, but I knew one thing, he'd lay it all on the line tonight for his teammates, and they would do the same. So it was lovely to watch.
I am not surprised that right now your team is not around this trophy.
No.
But explain it to the audience why this group right here and what they believe in and how they believe in each other is more important to them than maybe this trophy is.
Yeah, I mean, I know they were expecting to get that one. They want the next one. That one gets put up in our locker room for a year. We get to put up another first place thing. But, you know, that right there, what you see right here is what we're all about. Just sticking together, fighting for one another. And we want to grind for number 9. That's not number 9. That's why they don't care.
Well, I still have to give it to you, though, Jason. So congratulations on winning the East.
Thank you.
Dusty, up to you.
All right, well, what a couple of comments there from Jason Moss. This team is obviously focused as they've gotten healthy. They are certainly a team that will have to be dealt with seriously next week.
Yeah, I mean, this has been one of the storylines for this team throughout is when they're healthy, they're a beast. Now, of course, all eyes will be on the health of the head of that beast, their quarterback, Davis Alexander, as they prepare for the biggest game of the year, the biggest game of his career. You know, Davis Alexander, a part of the 2023 Grey Cup champions, but a young backup quarterback on that team, a guy who didn't see action as part of that run, in a completely different role now, the leading man for the Montreal Alouettes as they return to the Grey Cup.
Montreal rolls into Hamilton and ruins the party for a sold-out Ticats crowd, and the drought will last for another year in the Hammer. 19-16, thrilling finish. Montreal advances. We've got another great game coming up in the Canadian Football League. Let's send it back to Kate in the studio.
All right, Dustin, we will tee up that next game, the Western final between the BC Lions and the Saskatchewan Roughriders in just a bit. But what a way to start finals Saturday, back alongside Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Milt Stegall, and Paul LaPolice. And my goodness, for the Montreal Alouettes, you know, it was a team this season that you could see the potential the entire time, but they just were never healthy. And it really started and ended with Davis Alexander. And I remember talking to Isaac Adeyemi Berglund and Darnell Sankey, and they believed in this team. And they were like, you watch, when we get this quarterback in position and this offense rolling, you watch how good this team is. And that's exactly what they did today. today, showing when they are healthy, they're an absolute beast of a team. But it starts with Davis Alexander-Milt, and to watch him once again hang on to that hamstring. And look, he said it. He's playing. We all know he's going to be playing in the Grey Cup, but you got to watch that leg and think, how healthy are you going into this one?
Yeah, they have some concerns going to the Grey Cup, but what we saw today was something truly special. The fact that everyone knew he was hurting, but it would have took for them to basically cut his legs off for him not to get back on that field. He got back out there, he fought, he was stumbling, he was bumbling, he was doing everything that someone with a strained hamstring usually does. But he got his team to a victory, and that's all that matters right now. Yes, how long will he be able to play if he does play next week? That's a big question. But right now, this team is in a great position because they do have Davis Alexander as their starting quarterback as we speak.
You know, let's go. First thing to something he said pregame, which I absolutely loved. In a huge moment, I think Matthew asked him about getting off to a fast start, how important it was to get off to a fast start. And he said, yep, we want to get off to a fast start. But if we don't, oh, well, we don't.
Right.
I love it. Because you can't control that. If you don't get off to a fast start, it's imperative we get off to a fast start. No, we want to, but if we don't, shoot, we'll handle it. We'll be good. That's the type of personality and energy he has, which I love. The next thing, something was telling to me about his health. And we don't know. We can talk about it for the next week. But I will say this. With 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the game, Jason Moss, 1st and 10, his play call 10 out of 10 times is going to be drop back with Davis with an option for him to throw it or make a play with his legs. He hands it off to Stevie Scott. No chance. That's because Davis was unable to move. We'll see how this plays out. For now, just Montreal, enjoy the win, and Hamilton, what a battle.
And you look at this team, and what's impressive is exactly the fact that you touched on it. They overcome adversity so well together. You see, they're so concerned about being with one another before getting the trophy. I know Jason Moss was talking about they didn't want to touch it. They ended up wanting, hey, you know what, we won it. But they are a team, a true team, and I love that about them. They always have adversity. These last 2 playoff games that they played, it wasn't a walk in the park, it wasn't easy, but they are able to overcome the challenges that come their way, and they're just able to manage their emotions. And you talk about emotions, both of these teams, they had to face certain similar things, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats, in the end, they didn't manage their emotions well enough. And you talk about the mistakes that happened for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The reason why the Montreal Alouettes also won, credit the Montreal Alouettes, they played a good game, but 2 turnovers in field goal range and possibly touchdown scoring plays, they weren't able to manage. And so that hurts in a situation like in a big game like that. You just can't do it.
That has to sting so much for the Tiger Cats. You're right. It was right there. It was right for the taking. With more on the game, let's send it over to Paul Lapolice with his thoughts. Lapo?
I agree with you guys. I think both teams played tremendous today. But let's talk about Montreal. A point about offense. Jason Moss and his staff did a great job of keeping Davis Alexander in very manageable 2nd and medium, 2nd and short positions. How many times we saw them convert on a 2nd and short? And then through the course of the game, they got a couple of big plays. There was one time they've got a pass interference that led to a field goal, and then they've got a couple of big plays with using his legs. We see this huge play right here. What happens? Quarterback Davis Alexander moves around, uses his legs. Here's the second one to Snead for the touchdown. That was the difference, his ability to use his legs to lead to some of these biggest plays, because Hamilton's defense did a great job. Now, Montreal defensively, Bo Levi Mitchell completed a lot of passes, 0 explosive plays, no 30-plus pass plays. Even the drive, they had 1 touchdown in the game. It took a 10-play drive, and they had to earn it. So I thought the defense did a really good job, making sure that they, hey, do what we do. We don't give up a lot of touchdowns, give it back to the Montreal offense.
Well, we know that the Montreal Alouettes are officially off to Winnipeg, but who will join them? It's the Rough Riders and the Lions in the Western Final from Mosaic, with a trip to the Grey Cup on the line. And we tee it up right after this.